Hello there. I'm sorry for the delay. It's just that my phone ran out of memory. I cleared some stuff out of the phone, and I was able to do have the videos be longer. So here's part two of the other collection thing I was gonna do. Um, this next one has to do with a lot of games I played during my childhood. In fact, one of the early memories I did during childhood that happens to be the SpongeBob games, like you can all see here. We'll start with the first one, which happens to be the famous Battle for Bikini Bottom. Of course, as you can see, this is the original one from 2003 and everything. This is during the SpongeBob's golden years on TV. As by that time, I think they were on their second or third season, probably. And as you can see by the Hillenberg autograph, it's been helped to prove that he's been part of the creative process, but not that much anyway. But mostly created by heavy iron students who would be very good at making some of the SpongeBob games that would ever made. That would be made. So as you can see here, has a manual, the disc, and everything. All the games and everything. It has some advertisements from their DVD stuff and everything. Especially that's what's from other Nickelodeon stuff. There's an advertisement for one of the few original Nickelodeon games that was released. I haven't played that game yet, so I don't have it yet. But this is one of my first memories of it. I liked it a lot, like everything, and even playing the rehydrated version. Well, I would say get the rehydrated version, but personally, if you ask me if you're gonna ask me what's the difference between any of them, I would say little to none difference actually. Aside from graphics updates, there really is no difference. Same actor. Same voice line, same story. In fact, nothing really gets updated. Not even the voice line for Mr. Krabs, which you hear, and this one is not even close to Clancy Brown. He doesn't even appear in the rehydrated one. And you would think with a higher budget they would have done it, but I guess not. He must have been really expensive. But personally, I would think you would play the original one more because it's a bit more expressive and everything, more complete. Not that the other one's more better, but if you wanted to play the original, you got to play it right here and everything. I don't know which one was from Heavy Iron Studios. Made a year later was, of course, the famous SpongeBob movie video game tie-in. Believe it or not, this was released a few months before the movie came out. So in a way, if you didn't want to avoid spoilers about the movie, you pretty much couldn't play the game. But at the time, it was a little kid. I don't think they knew the difference. And none of them could afford. Probably most of them probably didn't even have a PS2. So when you think about it, not that much, but as you can see, but also by Heavy Iron Studios and everything, pretty much good. It's pretty much a one from Game Recreation with some added bonuses, like like the tub level or the paddy wagon levels. But aside from it, it's not that different from the Heavy Iron ones, except less moves, but still has the same graphics and everything. And as you can see in just the no manual, but it has a great artwork disc right here showing King Neptune. SpongeBob and this rocking thing, but no, of course, it's not from the movie, but still. And everything was cool and everything. This was one of the first few games I had when I was a kid and everything. Yeah, and I liked it and everything. I love the movie as much as I love the movie as much, but and as everybody said, I think the movie should have been the end of the series, but Nickelodeon didn't want to let go of SpongeBob, and at the state of it now, well, is it bad? Well, the spin-offs aren't that bad, but admittedly, with the modern episodes, I think they should just end the original series and just put more into the spin-offs than they do in the original one because, reasons. Ugh. But yeah, the movie game's not bad. And of course, another one is a very classic is, of course, Creature from the Krusty Krab. Also, not made by Heavy Iron, made by Blitz, but at the same time, you wouldn't know the difference because the gameplay is a bit different. Same people, but of course you can tell a lot of passion and care was it, especially being made during the later seasons in 2006. But Hillenberg's name is still right there in the title. So in a way, it was like one of those few games that still managed to stand out really well even after during the show's run. And has some great levels. SpongeBob levels is part of the racing thing and flying levels. Patrick, you get to play a superhero. Plankton has the one with the running from the Krusty Krab, and then he turned big in the later levels, and it was fun and everything. all tying with the last big race, and you get to fight who wins with SpongeBob, Patrick, or Plankton. With SpongeBob being the real ending, probably, but I don't know. Here's the disc and everything. As you can see, here's the old games guy, old Nick games that are probably used to be on sale in the store. Avatar, SpongeBob one I have, of course, the one I have. For the screenshots, of course, the battle for the Nicktoons one. I don't have. Surprisingly, I don't have the first two games. Sad. I should really get to play those. I heard they were good, especially. The Barnyard. I remember watching that show a lot when I was a kid. I forgot. I keep forgetting it's a movie, pretty much. And also, there's that PSP one exclusive, the Yellow Avenger. Weird. Don't remember that one that much. Stop and Wonder right there. There's the manual. It's in mostly black and white, but that's what you get when you have well, it's not really a red colored greatest hits PlayStation, but probably didn't have enough for color. But as you can see, I like the game a lot and everything. One of the few games that came, especially after the show's original run. I think this was during when they were at their 5th season and everything, back when it was starting to go downhill, as people on the internet would say. But still one of the great few good games. And of course, here is the third, technically fourth game actually. I think this is the fourth one, which was Nicktoons Glob's Goon, or as it's called, SpongeBob meets featuring Nicktoons. Yeah, this is when SpongeBob was really number one to the fact that his name has to be first in Nicktoons, when it was originally just Nicktoons Unite or Nicktoons Volcano, Nicktoons Attack of the Toy Bots and everything. But as you can see, it's a bit different than the other ones because Timmy Turner surprisingly doesn't return in the first than he did in the first three. New characters like Tack, the show version, sadly, not the video game counterpart, but in Zim, one of my favorite Nicktoons shows I used to watch as a kid. And Danny Phantom, Jimmy Neutron, all that stuff. And here's something called a Lost and Found game prize. I don't know what this is. It's like a weird code, and doesn't matter if I show you the code or not because it's old and everything. Half of these products don't exist. The ground prize being an old big ass TV and an old ass Dell computer. Shows you how old this thing is. This is the manual and everything. Surprisingly, in a bit of trivia, this is actually the first ever game that Wendy Malick actually ever was in. Like, her only video game appearance, as she was in Beautiful Gorgeous, as you see right there in the corner. That was her only role. But this was made like around 2008 and everything, around during the latter years of the home run. And the reason I said it because it has the DVD from that special Who Bob What Pants, which is like a real special that was a thing. But admittedly, that episode was like, meh, really. Kind of meh. Looking back, not really that much recognizable. Not that much recognizable from, other specials they made, like Truth or Dare or something like that. But the game, was pretty good, playing other characters, even the villains and everything. It makes you wish they would make more, but at the same time, I was glad they ended at the forefront because at the time, the run was going to be pretty much running out of juice, and the fourth game really proves it that much, especially when they dropped Jimmy Turner for some reason. But, aside from that, really, it's like, not a bad ending to a bad game. It's just, I wish this one was, I wish all this and the rest of the Nicktoons one get a rehydrated kind of like thing. But of course it's different really because unlike with the rehydrated, it's just SpongeBob. And this one they had to get all the other properties together, even though they were Nicktoons. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure they had to build a lot of things going. Which, like I said, which retrospective would explain the whole why Timmy doesn't appear by the fourth one. But aside from that, I loved playing those games as a kid. The Battle for the Krusty Krab one and the Globs, I remember playing on the Wii a lot. No, really on the Wii. Out of all the things, the Wii. The rest is a bunch of. This one's, of course, the famous Sonic Mega Collection. Some people say it's the better collection as opposed to the Origins collection that got released recently. But this one says Plus because it's on console. PC version only had Mega Collection. This one has a Plus, so I don't know what makes it different. I think it's because, like I said, it has the Game Gear titles, so you know. And as you can see, it has the first, second, third, the Knuckles, all the other ones like Ben Pinball, 3D Blast, all that stuff. Not all the games, but all the games that are made so far as made by this game, which was like around 2004. And it's interesting because you can tell by the main picture, this was made during Sonic X and everything was appearing on, especially later on Toon Kid, on Fox 4 Kids, which I remember airing like a lot. I used to watch a little bit. It was one of the things that made me get up at 8 in the morning and then go to the CW channel, which back then used to be the Fox Kids ones. I think that's what it was called. I think I got that right, but they used to air Sonic X a lot and everything. Digimon, even what was that other one? The card game, Yu-Gi-Oh. Yes, that was it. Yu-Gi-Oh. I remember mostly watching Sonic X, not really in order. Chris was really annoying, of course. That's cool, of course. But it's a show actually I wish I had the Blu-ray, the double one, because it was pretty good out of all of it. And you can see there's a manual and everything. It has all the manuals and controls for the other all games, 1, 2, all that stuff. I haven't played the other ones. I'm still playing the first one. I keep forgetting. Man, I really, really am used to Sonic. What's it called? Sonic Mania, because I keep forgetting in the first game. Technically, in the first game, Sonic doesn't spin dash at all. I keep forgetting that. I'm so used to his spin dash until a lot of times in situations I have to keep forgetting that he can't spin dash until about the second game. And after that, he does spin dashing a lot, I think. But it's the first game, he doesn't spin dash at all. But this game has other stuff. It has like a lot of art concepts, a lot of comics from the Archie years and everything, all the way from Ken Panders, yes, the infamous Ken Panders, all the way to recent, which was, like I said, 2004. So it doesn't have all of it. It doesn't have the Ian Flynn one. So in case you're wondering if it has that, it doesn't. Has a pretty memorable soundtrack, even in the menu selections, especially when I'm looking at old comic book covers and art. It really makes me take back to my childhood when I used to love watching, like I said, Sonic X and everything, being a kid and everything. Very, very good times, good years. But here's some other games that we were playing during my childhood. These two are significant, based on cartoon TV video games. One of them being Eddy, and of course the famous Simpsons Hit and Run. Let's talk about Eddy and Eddy first. This one was always my favorite because it was the misadventures. I used to love watching a lot, especially during Boomerang, especially when they put on Boomerang to the early Cartoon Network years back when Cartoon Network used to air a lot of original programming. I was alive during that. Granted, I didn't know what half of them were about anyway. I can't remember all of them, but they were pretty entertaining, especially Eddy and Eddy. Especially because you get to play all three characters. Granted, I wish the FMV cutscenes actually had motion and weren't just still images with their mouths moving. And admittedly, that was like a bad choice right there. But I think they had to make up for the fact that their models and everything were in 3D. Even though they look kind of uncanny-like, but it wasn't really bothering me. And the thing is, they really don't tell you which mission you have to play in what order and everything. So in case you ever wonder which mission, I think you probably have to look it up in game guides or online to tell you that, because I couldn't tell you because I play randomly, and obviously there really wasn't a difference between how you played it in order to how you were playing it. Pretty much, I love the musical cues and everything, especially when they all three of them race and everything, like this, like right here, and if it you know what I mean. But they go flying and everything. It was funny and everything, made it funny and everything. Cartoon Network Interactive, yeah, that was something. Another sad company had to go away. The game and the manual, of course. The controls and everything. It probably tell you which mission was first, but it really didn't tell me. I don't think it did. Game all in perfect condition and everything. I love this game. I remember showing this to, I think my cousin originally had this game. He had it on the GameCube, which was old because I remember playing it on the GameCube and everything when we visited, and I played that more often and everything. I remember owning a copy also on the GameCube too, but it ended up getting scratched and it was pretty much unplayable after that and everything. But found it recently a few months ago. Love it, love every single bit. I just wish I wish it would have been like a new version of this made, but Eddy hasn't been on any kind of network syndicate for years. Not even the new Boomerang isn't showing in, and of course Boomerang hasn't been the same as it has been since 2014, I think. It really hasn't been the same. The other one, Simpsons Hit and Run, of course, everybody's favorite childhood game, of course, was known once online as GTA with the Simpsons. And I have to tell you that is a crock of shit. The reason why I say this is because as much as people will remember, I don't know if how many people are going to be viewers or who saw his channel, but anybody who saw TJ's game reviews on his review on the Simpsons Hit and Run, you would know he was very unfavorable to it. Mainly because he kept mentioning because people would keep telling him this was GTA with the Simpsons, and he hated that because of the fact that it wasn't. And that's the one time I actually agree with him, because throughout all my childhood, I kept being told that this was GTA and the Simpsons. Like it was like just like the Simpsons, just like GTA, but with the Simpsons and everything. Despite the fact that this game had to be played in levels, so already the open worldness was not really there, because all of the real map was just a circular ribbon kind of thing. It was, yeah, sure, it had a lot off and pass, but ultimately it was just like a circle thing and everything. Yeah, sure, you get to go out of the car, do things, but ultimately there's not really anything to do aside from driving, doing missions, racing. I mean, yeah, sure, there's good customizable objects, especially character skins, but ultimately when all that gets done, especially when you 100% it, there's really not much to do the game except play it all over again. But even then, it's just like, you can get it kind of repetitive and boring. I'm not saying this is a bad game. It's just that everybody kept hyping this up as, The Simpsons, but, GTA and everything, despite the fact it's not really. But if you want me to think what I think about the review and everything, and if you're saying where is it right now, well, he took it down years ago because he's admitted that, and what he said was, not not probable, because even he said he was playing the gameplay wrong and everything, and some of his things weren't valuable, which even I agree because they weren't. The only thing I did agree with him was the fact that it was the multiple lying from many people online, people saying that this was just like GTA, but even though it's not, it's a racing game and everything with platforming elements, and even then that's not a lot, it's just the token ones. It's just to find collectibles, coins, and cameras, and that's it, really. Cards. As you can say, this was made during when DVDs were coming out. 2003, yeah, the DVDs were coming out. Everything. I think this was during their good years. I think before it ended up being bad, because I heard of it around 2003 and 4 was when the writers left and everything, as they said, went to shit. So that's why a lot of people say this writing is either good or bad, but it doesn't matter with me. But what do I think of the game? I have fun with the game, admittedly, even without the thing I mentioned. It's just reason why I only mentioned it is not because I didn't hate it. It's because I only got these feelings about after I finished the game. After that, I realized, it's just that, yeah, I was mostly pissed because because believe it or not, when I first got this game, because after seeing TGX's review on this, I decided to play the game and see well, maybe he's right, maybe it's not as good as it. Granted, I was proven wrong. It's a good thing because it means I liked it. But you want to know? But the first thing the guy behind the store counter said, "Oh, you'll like this game. This is GTA with the Simpsons." Word for word, he said those words, and those are just a complete lie. A complete lie, because it's not. It's not really. Personally, I like this Game Grip Remaster. Well, yes, but of course, as we all know, Vivendi Universal used to make this, and who owns Vivendi Universal? Guess what? It's Activision themselves. No, it's EA themselves, and you know how EA is with their games nowadays, especially with the whole online thing. I don't think they're ever gonna get any chance to make it. So, but never say never, right? But as of now, this is a good game. If they make a whole remake of the game where it actually is GTA with the Simpsons, where all the maps come together to make one big map, and you have to add more stuff and everything, especially in the open world as we get out of your car, that's when people can finally say it's finally GTA with the Simpsons and with better quality and everything. But enough of my rant on that. And, it's just I'm not mad about it. It's just that it's just all my life I've been lied to pretty much about that from those people. Okay. Next two ones are made by the same company who sadly got bought off by Ubisoft, and is of course Reflection Studios, and one of them I'll be talking about is Stuntman. Not Stuntman Edition, but Stuntman. The original version. Yeah. Say what you want about the Driver games, but with Stuntman, it was a pretty, especially, say what you want about Driver 3, but with Stuntman, this goes to show this is what it could have been. This Stuntman shows what a good game Driver 3 could have been if they had more polish and time to work on it, because it has good mechanics and everything. And unlike in Stuntman Ignition, your actual gameplay can be used in the trailers. Unlike in Stuntman Ignition, where they just use pre-assets and everything, which are kind of shitty because, especially when you like to see your moments in it, it's kind of fun and everything. And that's what I like about the first Stuntman. The real problem is, just like Call Me Kevin mentioned, that the game does not tell you what controls are which, what goes forward, what goes back, how do you shift, how do you drift, everything. Yeah, because now, and that's the thing that reversed in Stuntman Ignition. In Stuntman Ignition, they actually gave you lessons and everything about how to do what to do, and there was even an option that said how to play. They put it in the game and everything that showed you what to do. Whereas in this one, you had to pretty much trust the manual and read it to know what controls are. And as you can see, I have no manual, which is a problem because some people like to take the manual with them, and that makes it a problem because then I don't know which controls are which. I don't know what to do. It's like it can get frustrating. But from what I played so far, I'm still enjoying it. I got used to the controls, but once you get used to the controls, you're gonna like it. You're gonna love it. And that one has more replayability than Stuntman Ignition because, like I said, because of the fact they use your actual gameplay for those fake movie trailers that they put in and everything. It's fun. Speaking of Driver, here is the infamous Driver 3 or Driv 3. Now, I don't have the first two ones because I never got the time. Because of the first one, I never got past that stupid garage level. And you know how hard that is with everybody, so there's that. And as for Driver 2, I did get past some missions. I was in no, it's not Venice, but I was in some kind of European country at the time, find Honey Down Jericho. I never got as far as that. And yeah, it's just like I never got to playing past after that, so there's that. But I played Driver 3, and I'm still in the process of playing around, and guess what? It's not as bad as people say, but yes, I do wish you could still be in your car instead of being outside because, everything about it is janky, very, very janky. But the car level, the destruction levels is pretty good. Even pretty good for Driver 3. It's like it could have rivaled GTA 4's by a few years had they had more time to develop it. And it would have been great. Like, really, really great. Of course, you played John Tanner in all three of them, including San Francisco and everything. But I'm still in the middle of playing this, so I can't give you that much in this. I'm surprised with the star color like Michelle Rodriguez, Michael Manson, and everything. And here's an Atari poster and everything, which is ironic and sad because this is. Had Atari given Ubisoft Reflection Studios time and effort to make this, they would have been absolutely a great game. A great game. But no, Atari did the usual scummy thing, paid off a bunch of reviewers, and that's when Drivergate became a thing. Yeah, we all know about that. If you don't know more about that, look it up on Wikipedia and everything. It goes into great detail than I ever could. And watch Larry Bundy Jr.'s videos. I mean, he's the one who actually mentioned most of it, brought it up about it. But yeah, you mostly just, even taking that aside, if you play the game as is, like I said, you'll see the many problems with it and everything. And yeah, you're going to be like, it's going to be, you either like it or hate it. You have a love-hate thing with it. As of right now, I'm in the middle of playing it. It's still getting hard to get used to the driving part, the accelerating part, because, it's kind of pretty hard. But it's a challenge. It's a good challenge. It's not like it's frustrating or hard where it's like, it's bad because, the game's making me fail. But no, it's not that bad. But, Well, I'm glad that, at least the good thing that came out of the Ubisoft one was that they managed San Francisco, and that ended up being a good celebratory goodbye to the franchise. Whether or not you think you'll make more, that's up to you, really. So, really, that's up to you. I'm going to skim through the PS3 ones because I haven't played them yet, but I'll show you them. Two of them so far. One of them is the exclusive Infamous, that comic book style game. I still haven't played it yet. I only played the beginning of the first one, so I don't really want spoilers ahead of what's happening. But probably going to be a good game. And as you can see, it has Festival of Bloods and kids. So I was like, oh, cool. I get to play additional listen, but the problem is I can't. Because apparently there is a code for purchasing it, and guess what? This thing got valid into 2016, so it doesn't matter if I show you it because you can see it expired in 2016, and it's pretty much useless now. But of course, good art collection, like the vampire-esque quality they put in here. But as you can see, there's the first game on disc, and of course here's Infamous 2. I only got to play the first one, so I not really have that much to say on this one. But you know, I got the collection at cheap, which I'm glad because I heard it's getting expensive now every day, especially being like the fact that some of the games never got past PS4, maybe even 5. I think. Not much to say, but this one was not really exclusive. I found this at the Half Price bookstore. In case you don't know what that is, for you guys who don't know what it is, it's just pretty much a bookstore that sells more than books. It's like games, videos, all that stuff, artwork, all that stuff, all that jazz. One of them they sold that was actually for $5, which of course was Deus Ex Human Revolution. Of course, this is the augmented edition. It's not the director's edition I keep hearing about, which I'll probably find in the future. But I got this one because of how cool it looked. As you can see, got with a slip cover and everything. It comes with, the game, and of course DVD behind the scenes, everything, and of course an art book and everything. There's a lot of stuff in here, and I'll show you it. I can see I love the design. It looks cool. I know they had one for Xbox 360, but I couldn't find it, and I'm pretty sure it would be expensive, so I didn't want to deal with the hassle. I just had to get it while it was still cheap while I can, and as you can see, has beautiful artwork, but good. Adam Jensen. I think I got that name right. I know his name is Adam. As you can see, I'm playing it in my PS3 right now, so in the middle of playing. But here's the bonus disc showing all the artwork and everything. This is just a bunch of codes that are probably expired, so no point of showing that. No point of taking the codes and everything, because like I said, they probably expired, so can't use them. And here's the design work and everything. Pretty good. This is the art director dude who made it. Jonathan, French name is Jock something. Pretty good. It's pretty realistic. It's cyber realistic, not like cyber, like PlayStation, all that cyberpunk crap. But it's pretty good for what it is. I still haven't like I said, I just played the beginning yet, so I can't tell you my full analysis on it yet. So, but it's fun seeing an artwork and everything, seeing passion and care, especially not being made by the same developers who made the first game. If you're wondering where's the first game I have, well, I did have the original one. Well, no, I didn't. Well, I didn't have it actually. It was owned by somebody else. But I don't have it anymore. It used to be on PS1 and everything. I didn't like it that much really on PS1 because of having to make the controls on PS1 were like very hard. And I heard the PC version is superior, so probably gonna have to go on Steam. Wait for it to go on sale, get the mini DLCs, and even the mods and everything. Play it, enjoy it, and I'll probably have a better time with this. But as for the other ones, these prequels and the prequel sequel, Mankind Divided, I'm getting those on consoles because got them cheap and everything. I got this for cheap, and I got Mankind Divided on the Xbox Series X for about $2. Yeah, it was on sale and everything, so I'm going to take my time with these. These are like really, really branching storylines and everything, something that Cyberpunk tried to be, but, false advertising, I guess. Very false advertising. Okay, the rest are PS1 copies. The ones I'll start showing you first. As one, of course, like I said, introduced to me by TGX, which is, of course, the Crash series. I have all 4 by original Naughty Dogs. Here's the first one. The first one isn't that bad, and the save point, despite what people say, the save point is not that bad. I didn't have that much of a problem with it and everything. It's just that, I didn't have that much of a problem with it. As you can see, it's the greatest hit collection, so I have the advertisement for the second one and everything. I have the disc, and as you can see, the disc is the infamous black and everything. And has the manual. This is back then in games when the story was in the manual, so you had to pretty much read everything, read it inside, and most characters didn't have that. So yeah, as the first game was really not that. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. The save point, I got used to it and everything. I mean, yeah, sure, Insane Trilogy perfected and made it better, but I didn't mind in the first one. I managed to get all the gems and everything. The only thing I didn't like was having to use the D-pad controls on my PlayStation instead of using the other buttons and everything. I had to use the up and down, left and right button on the D-pad and everything. It was kind of annoying. And this was the first of its kind and everything. Back when the Uka Uka masks were pretty much pronounced as a witch doctor mask and everything. It's just like, not much to say about it. I didn't like it. It's not that bad. I liked it. The save point, it wasn't really that bad as people said, but Sunset Vista was like the worst, longest level I've ever heard been on. It's just like, it's amazing the fact that they think children would have done that, but who knows. This is the second one. Some people say the best one, but even though I think that's 3, pretty much. The second one is significant because Neo Cortex is probably played by Clancy Brown himself. When the first game was played by a random person who didn't have that much of a role anyway. It wasn't that significant really whatsoever, but and everything. And as you can see, you notice, he doesn't have any gloves. I think that was a weird marketing thing because in the other ones he has his fingers gloves right here all around the game, but I don't know why he looks weird without it and everything. Very weird and everything. Cortex, got a black disc, as always. There is engine advertisement for the third one, which I have. Warped, pretty good. I have names now. Cortex and everything. The color, it really bounces off, which is pretty cool. I think by the time they were Uka Uka masks, but he didn't have a speaking role yet, not until the third one anyway. Still weird though. Pretty good game and everything. Love Clancy Brown's acting, is pretty much top tier. It's too bad his last one was on Nitro Kart, which I don't know why. It's just like I keep hearing conflicted. I heard it's because either A, he didn't like the game that much, he didn't play it, or he was too expensive. Because I keep hearing he's too expensive to get, which it's weird. But, he's still good for what it is. And then here's Warped, i.e. Crash 3. This is all about a special one about time travel and the plane things and everything, which makes me think, what do you think about the jetpacks? They were fine, just 2 token times. They were fine for what they were, but they were just fine. I like the flying levels in the third one that I never did in the jetpacks and the other 2, really. Finally started putting color into their disc. It looks cool, funny, like. Still black disc. Really reflective ones, I'll tell you that. Really reflective ones, I'll tell you that. And of course, here's advertising for the first Spyro, I think, because by the time Crash 3 was made, Spyro was just about to take over and everything, because Naughty Dog was about to was about to take over, because this was made in 98 and everything. Yeah, this is going to be good. Yeah, it was pretty good for what it was and everything. Loved it and everything. It just didn't like Coco's demeanor. She wasn't that very childish as compared to her Insane Trilogy counterpart, which was serious and everything, can't be funny and everything, all that stuff. Uka Uka got introduced as the main villain and everything, as Aku finally got his first speaking role ever. And I'm sorry I have to say this, but I meant to say Aku in the first 2 years. He was the original Witch Doctor. I keep getting confused with Uku and Aku. I keep just like, sorry about that, but sorry to get you all mad and everything. I said that, but yeah, Aku finally got his first speaking role and everything. He finally had a personality and everything. Uku became the first villain, even though I didn't like how he appeared. Like, he appeared as the real genius behind the genius and everything. Even though I thought Neo Cortex was a good character on his own, because as the second game and the first game proved, he didn't really need anybody. He didn't need anybody following orders to and everything with him and everything. So he didn't really need him. But especially since Clancy Brown still does a great job as Neo Cortex. Not that bad in it, but you know, for what it was, still good and everything. Yeah. It's just too bad they actually ruined Cortex by the third game, and this is by Naughty Dog. Normally we blame other studios, but Naughty Dog was the one who dropped the ball on Cortex here. But here's one nobody back in 1999 saw coming, and that is, of course, CTR, Crash Team Racing. This one surprised many because, like I said, Naughty Dog made this, and people were surprised because, you know, they didn't think Naughty Dog would be like, they think Naughty Dog would do, especially since the licensing technically ran out. But my guess is like Sony wanted them to do one last good goodbye, and they did it with CTR, Crash Team Racing. As you can see, Universal Interactive is still there, but of course they're not really in the game and everything. You can see their logo and everything in it. You only see Sony and Naughty Dog and everything. Of course, here's the advertisement for Spyro 2. I don't have the second or third game on PS1. I only had the Reunite trilogy, and that's how I was able to know it. So, but I'll probably get those games later. But at this time, this was Spyro's final goodbye, and Spyro would be introduced into the game, as you can see, because even they put in a secret from the player his game in the demo. It's funny. Too bad games don't do that nowadays. But yeah, Crash with Spyro was a little bit more sad than how he went and everything in Crash, because Crash, you know, is very good. And as you can see, they went back to black and white for some reason. Still stuck with the black discs. Don't know. As you can see, Cortex was very weird here. I don't know what's with the art style. Why they exaggerate him so much, because as you can see, even by the cover, he looks weird and everything. Looks like, you know, I don't know, he's been put through the washing machine after he got done with this. But, you know, find a focus. Yeah, here you go. Looks weird and everything. You know, Crash always looks the same and everything. But this is a great final goodbye that Naughty Dog could have ever done for the series. Pretty good. Here's the game, like I told you I have, which was, of course, the original Spyro the Dragon. As the first game, I remember having fun with it and everything, getting the secrets. Some of it I had to look it up online because it was so hard. Of course, here's advertising for the third one on Spyro and everything. Warped. Because by the time Spyro 3 came out, Crash was already done for everything, and you know, Spyro overtook Crash for being the #1 PlayStation exclusive mascot up until, you know, next gen came along. Look how that got good. That went, you know, more black disc and everything, no color. But, you know, awesome art right there. As the first game was pretty good. What did I think about Spyro's voice actor in this one? His name was Carlos Elizaki. I thought he was pretty good. I like Tom Kenny a bit more better in the original one. And I think, but for Carlos, he did a pretty good job in this first one, and everything is pretty good. As the first game is pretty good. Yeah, and Sony, you know, they pretty much like also like kind of like Naughty Dog. They went with Sony and everything. And as for the games, they really went from bad to good, kind of like Naughty Dog, which go from bad to good and everything. They really have a lot in common, I'll tell you that. And they're aware of it too. They're very aware of it. But, you know, I can't complain. And the reason why I can't complain about that is because, you know, I haven't played any of their games because I don't have I don't have any of their PS3 or PS4 games. I never played The Last of Us, the first one. I never played any Uncharted. None of that stuff, really. I don't know if I plan to, but it's all up to how I am, I guess. Really. Now, the next thing I'll show you is, I know it's not part of the PlayStation collection, but I had to show you this too, because I only have two, which is, of course, GameCube, and as you can see, I have Super Mario Bros. Land. Some people say the best. And, of course, even though it says Luigi's Mansion, this is actually Paper Mario. Yeah, Paper Mario, but I'll show you that later. Actually, I'll show you that right now. Even though it's called Luigi's Mansion, this is actually because my sister lost the case in there, but this is actually, as you can see, Paper Mario, the 1,000-Year Door, it's called. I just started playing it. Pretty good and everything. It's pretty good. As you can see, it's an old GameStop thing, right? And I used to get memories every time looking at this and everything. It's like, you know, I just wish they were actually good if they actually did better with sales and everything, and advertisement, and deals. Not much to say about that one. And not much to say about this one, but I wanted to show you that it's Melee. Pretty good. I have it right here, the manuals and everything. Unlike the other one, this one has the manuals, everything in it. I can't get it out because it's really stuck in here. There's a manual, and everything. This is like advertisement booklet for GameCube and everything. Nintendo Power back when that was still they were still making it. As you can see, no disc because I have it in my GameCube. I have over there. Pretty good. I couldn't tell you much about Melee because, like I said, I have nobody to play with because lonely virgin. You know, try and being Alex. In reality, no, it's not really. It's just that got no friends or anything to play with or anything. So yeah, there's that. What do I think of these two games? Well, it's pretty good so far. I did have Luigi's Mansion and everything is pretty good. I remember playing memories with that on the GameCube and everything. I remember enjoying it. It's hard to find GameCube and games these days because of the fact of how expensive they're getting and how rare they're getting. Because these Nintendo fanboys say that they're best. They're not willing to give it up their hard-earned money or their games to give it away and everything. So it's like hard to find the games when I can't play them. Okay, this was part 2 of the third part actually when you think about it because sorry, like I said, of phone ran out of memory. So hope you guys really enjoyed. I'll see you with more collection if I show you the rest of my collection. With the last part of the collection, I'll show you. Hopefully this one will take long and everything, but with the rest I'm gonna do like a lot of DVDs down there, and there's a lot back there. I'll tell you that. Trust me, there's a lot of DVDs. That's gonna be like its own video by itself. Thank you for enjoying it. I'm the Game Dude, and well, game on, game on.